morning. We'll continue with our poem After Apple Picking. There were 10,000 fruit to touch, cherish in hand, lift down and not let fall. For all that struck the earth, no matter if not bruised or spiked with stubble, went surely to the cider apple heap, as of no worth. So, in the earlier lines, as we have read, that the poet is no more excited about the harvest. He is bored, he is now very tired of picking apples, and because the work is not finished till the time, he is very bored and tired of it. For all that struck the earth, no matter if not bruised or spiked with the stubble. Now, the speaker is trying to elaborate the how the apples are picked and sent to the factories, and how the process of all the picking and sending them to the factories for jams and all sorts of products that are made from apples. So the speaker is trying to elaborate on here how or why he is grown tired of the harvest. As with any activity that involves picking from plants, the process grows really old very fast. It is very monotonous to pick and drop again and again. So he is really tired of all this thing. And there are so many apples in the orchard. He says 10,000 means, to be exact, means numerous apples are still to be picked and put into the bags. That's an exaggeration, 10 million apples, but this exaggeration shows his tiredness or how he is bored of this monotony. Then there is an important message again, that is falling. The speaker is worried that no apple should fall down, because any apple that has fallen down has bruises or some dimples on it, so they are rejected. Even if the apples were in perfect condition, without bruises or stubble, they would be considered worthless if they touched the ground. So he is even worried about this fact, that apples should not fall down on the ground. They would have to be thrown in the heap of apples that will just be used to make cider. The image of falling first came up in relation to dropping the ice on the ground. So these lines help explain the speaker's earlier concern with the dropping stuff. All this falling of the fruit should remind us of the biblical story of the fall of Adam and Eve and their forbidden fruit. So this is one more side of the poem. This poem is therefore full of biblical imagery. The apples are a symbol of things that can be corrupted through contact with earth. The speaker almost feels bad for them. One can see what will trouble this sleep of mine, whatever sleep it is. So the speaker here is still predicting what kind of dreams he will have while he is sleeping. He says that it should now be clear to everyone what sort of images will haunt him or trouble him during his sleep. In other words, images of apples, of falling, of ladders, and all sorts of things will trouble his sleep, means he'll have a troubled sleep. The word troubled is quite unexpected, because it implies that these images are disturbing to him in some or the other way. The poem therefore invites us to consider why they might be disturbing, but the poet has not given any answer to this question. Finally, he expresses uncertainty about what kind of sleep will he have. Were he not gone, the woodchuck could say whether it's like his long sleep as I describe its coming on, or just some human sleep. So he wonders whether he will sleep like a normal person or like a hibernating creature, means those creatures that hibernate during the winters, such as a woodchuck. So he is wondering that whether he'll be sleeping like a normal person or he'll be hibernating like a woodchuck. He must be really tired from the harvest. Therefore, you have probably had one of those days when you feel like you could sleep for 3 days straight, means after your exams or some very engrossing works that make you feel tired. So the poet is saying that he is so tired of the harvest that maybe he'll hibernate for a long period of time. When he's so tired of the harvest that he may probably go and sleep for 3 or 4 days straight. The speaker thinks he could sleep for 3 months straight, means that is hibernation. A woodchuck is a groundhog, and we all know certain things about this creature, as we have seen in the famous Bill Murray movie, that groundhogs hibernate in the winter and then wake up in February unless they are being cranky. The woodchuck is an expert in hibernation. So it could say that whether the speaker is about to go into hibernation, but unfortunately the woodchuck has already gone to sleep for the winter. So the speaker will get no answer to his question. So he sounds like he would be disappointed with a human sleep, even though we all know that's what he is going to get, because he is not a woodchuck who will hibernate, or he is not some sort of creature that hibernates during the winter. So whatever it is, he is still disappointed that he is just going to have human sleep and he is not going to hibernate like other creatures. We can only assume that at this point the speaker does in fact go to sleep and he is relieved from his tiredness and whatever he has felt during the harvest. Thank you.